On behalf of the Moore, Robinson, and Hopkins families, we thank you very much for the Lifetime Achievement Award for John Leslie Ace Moore. You all did a very good job. Thank you.
My name is Jay Hankins, 53 graduate of Fritner, and a proud Missourian MU-type guy. I'd like to take this opportunity to enumerate on 3 of the 4 or 5 of the people who were very instrumental in getting John this award. First of all, Ray Bergfeld and his wife Mary Alice. Stand up and do it, Buzz. Only 4-time state wrestling champion from Rittner High School. Jerry McKinnis and his friend Angie Thompson. Jerry was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2005. Very instrumental in getting John's name in front of the public. My sister, Dr. Ann Hunt, same contribution. And my wife of 59 years, Gay is somewhere back in there, Buzzy's sister. And also Cliff Land, who wrestled for John Moore in the late 50s, was once again helpful in getting his name before the people. A little bit about John Moore. I first met him as a freshman football player in 1949, and I saw him angry once, and one time he feigned anger. He was giving our freshman football team discussion about man-to-man pass defense, and we had one player that was not the brightest star in the sky, and so John displayed this particular football player that in a man-to-man defense, he followed the end in front of him, or the receiver in front of him, wherever he went. So 2 minutes later, he says, "Bill, what do you do when the receiver comes at me?" He said, "I block the tackle." John Moore had a piece of chalk in his hand, and he threw it with great velocity against the black man. The time he feigned anguish, in my opinion, is in 1952, we were playing the last conference game of the season. We had a chance to win it. And on Thursday night practice, we were kind of walking through it, having, laughing and telling jokes. And John was a very calm way. "You guys aren't doing a thing. We got a great, very important game tomorrow night, and you're laughing and telling jokes. You ought to go home," which we did. But he got his message across. We played a great football game Friday night and won the Big 7 championship. But John was a man among men. I knew him for a long time, and I never heard him swear, even as a referee. And I refereed a long time, and I was one of the recipients from the other end of that. But John was the kind of a guy that if your team won, it was the team's fault. I remember when I was a junior, I got dinged as a quarterback, and my wits weren't about me, and I called a pass. We were ahead by 6 points in the third quarter, and that wasn't the thing to do. So what did John Moore do? He said, "Well, it's my fault. I put the play in the playbook." Coach, was lucky enough to play for another great individual named Don Furrow at the University of Missouri, and I heard him say the very same thing, not about me, fortunately. Once again, John was such a great impression on a freshman in high school, and I was fortunate enough to wrestle for him for 4 years, play freshman football, sophomore football, and 2 years on the varsity. Never heard him say a bad word about anybody, and I was in professional baseball for 48 years, and I met a lot of nice people, and most of you St. Louis Cardinal fans will know a fellow named Whitey Herzog and Tony La Russa. And fundamentally, they were very much the same, Tony and Whitey and John. But when it came to temperament, there was no doubt about who was the different. I remember the 1985 World Series where umpire named Don Deckinger, I'm sure some of you people remember, he was a seeing eye dog. Once again, again, John was just a great influence. He was a man among men, and I definitely feel it was my pleasure to be associated with him for many years at Rittner. And I officiated a lot of state tournaments after I got out of Rittner. And John was always helpful, and once again, he didn't criticize me, which sometimes I probably did, or deserve it. But anyway, he was the kind of a guy that definitely role model, and it was my pleasure to be associated with him even after I got out of school. And there's one thing, Mr. Kilbride tells the baseball stories, but when I was growing up a Cardinal fan, I wanted to play baseball in the worst way, and unfortunately I did. I found out my problem when I stood too close to the ball after I hit it. So I want to just be very brief, and I want to say a few words about alma mater.
And so because he used to say that about me.
Dear alma mater, we render thanks to thee. We never can repay our debt to thee. Though we afar may roam, and distant be our home, we will remember thee, dear Rittner High. And that is so appropriate to my career as an athlete. I was able to have some success on different levels, and some I struck out a lot. But always, I remembered my father was a great role model, as was John Moore. And the three things there were three phrases will remind me of John Moore. God bless John Moore, God bless Rittner High School, and God bless America.